Can a genetic predisposition for narcolepsy, which I have in the 90th plus percentile, at least seemingly, according to a gene report, can be an evolutionary advantage? So what I'm thinking here is the following. Now, the big downside of having this is that in the last, so presumably having this and also aligning with a few observations I made in the last couple of years is the following. My sleep is quite fragmented and I have to get everything right to get high quality sleep. And if I only make a minor mistake, like eating a cupcake at a high school reunion, then if I don't immediately work out, things go down the drain. Now, that's quite a problem. And of course, now I need quite a little bit of my processing power to manage this all the time. But what now this potentially also allows is to basically put myself into a, let's say, above baseline or above awake average cognitive state, even if otherwise the baseline actually would be higher, let's say without this genetic predispositions, by napping, basically. So while it might be a big disadvantage in fragmenting my sleep, at least a little bit, it might also be slight advantage such that which I can use by putting myself basically temporarily in a state I otherwise could not be in, because I put myself back into a early circadian state. So let's say my alertness in the beginning of the day is kind of higher, then I can put myself, at least if I manage everything right, back into the state by napping a couple of times a day, at least if I then actually sleep. So if my mind defaults or my alertness falls basically below consciousness, which, for example, like 20 minutes ago happened. So I woke up, then I worked out, and then the first two ultradian phases, which usually kind of merge into one in me, then end basically because I additionally draw more from my body battery. They kind of end in a ultradian low, and because now I was so high because I worked out, I then can dip below consciousness, which then often is not possible if I basically am alert, but I don't draw so much body battery. So I do have a Garmin watch. That's the reason I talk about this as kind of a body battery. So if I don't draw that much from my body battery in the first two ultradian phases, the first double cycle, then often it does not allow me to use the first ultradian low as kind of a trampoline by napping. So that's the question I am asking. And so I just asked ChatGPT. Let's see what it says. Now I want to add something further. If one thinks about a race car, and also more of an endurance car, let's say, then the race car basically needs to go into box stop almost like, I don't know after how many rounds, but it can also drive faster in the meanwhile. So could this thinking, basically high short bursts of brain activity, neural activity, but also then basically bigger potential for rest, also be a factor? So here now a quick answer. Yes, the analogy it's spot on. ChatGPT says narcolepsy-like fragmentation is a race car brain strategy. It trades steady endurance for higher short-term neural throughput at the cost of